So we saw today, well we saw previously anyway, but we saw today, or was it yesterday? One of these days, barely remember myself. We have seen that ships are going to be changed around. Now I think this is very good. I'm doing okay for ships, I'm doing alright. But really all you have to do for ships is kind of just upgrade what everyone else is upgrading, which isn't so difficult, and then once you get into a reasonably high position, you can kind of stick it out. So it's not really very exciting. I do play my full 5 games a day. I can't break the top 20. I only did once. But that's simply because I just don't have, one extra ship, right? Or one slightly more, or 1 star on my capital ship. So that's really the only reason I can't break through. So I welcome these changes. What we've seen is that three ships are going to start the fight, rather than us having 5 ships and then bringing in replacement ships when one dies, which has been a small bit of strategy. We're able now, or we will be able to bring 3 ships in to begin with, and we'll be able to bring in reinforcement ships as we go on. Now this has changed the dynamic because it's going to give us a little bit more strategy. There isn't as many ships, and as you can see here, I haven't unlocked all of mine. I do have some still closed. I do have some still on a very low level. But I have gone through all of these to have a look for this video. So the first ship that we're going to look at, the first capital ship we're going to look at, is the Rebel ship by Admiral Akbar. Akbar means big or great in Arabic, by the way. So he is the Great Admiral. It's brilliant. So here we have the 3 ships that I suggest. Now I haven't included ships that may be better because they're harder to unlock, and I haven't included the Chimera in this because for that you need to unlock Thrawn, and for him you need to gear up a full team of Phoenix. So that's not particularly easy to unlock either. So we start with Home 1, and as we know, it's basic attack, deal physical damage to a target enemy, and call a random ally. No problem, we understand how that works. Deal physical damage to all enemies and call 2 buffed allies to assist. Okay, so I've gone on that ability as my base ability for picking the other ships. You're going to need, in my opinion, when it comes to these 3 ships, to either kill everything really quickly on the opposing team to get them out before they have their reinforcements come in, or you're going to be particularly sticky, and you're going to need to last a very long time. All of my lineups are based on killing the enemy quickly. So Biggs will do what he does, and he will call an ally. He will do what he does, and he will inflict a target lock if he gets a crit. But as we know, he taunts for 1 turn whenever an enemy becomes target locked. Okay, so once target lock is applied, he buffs, which means when Akbar calls his special ability, he's going to call Biggs to attack as well. He's going to be called to attack. Bistan. Inflict target lock on target enemy for 2 turns, so that is going to help with Biggs's buff, which can't be resisted, which is brilliant. Bistan's Ewing gains stealth, so he's buffed, so we don't even need to look at these. He is buffed on his base on that attack. On Bistan's attack, he's buffed, and he adds target lock, which helps Biggs. So we've got 2 characters there immediately. Phantom 2, which I don't have unlocked, but if you've played against Phantom 2, you'll know that this thing taunts and counters like a mess. Inflict target lock, so that's there as well, with a 50% chance to inflict target lock on another random enemy, so that's good. Deal physical damage with a 75% chance to gain stealth. So these 3 ships will all gain buffs. This one will assist these 2, or this one rather, and his secondary attack will cause two of these to attack at the same time. So we're looking there at taking out the opposing 3 ships as quickly as possible. All of the characters that you need are easy to unlock, very easy to unlock. He's in the store, very easy to unlock. Ship not so much, he doesn't come around so often, but you can unlock it. Very easy to unlock, and of course the 2 Phoenix guys in here are also very easy, or 3 Phoenix guys in here are also very easy to unlock. So, or it is just 2. As I said, yeah, I know 3, there we go, Chopper, that's what's missing. So these 3, as you know, are easy to unlock as well. So that's my recommendations for the Rebels. Now, the second one we're looking at is Samuel L. Jackson's Endurance. And we're going to go with a Galactic Republic team because there's a decent synergy with target lock and power. And remember, our goal is to just smack them down as quickly as possible. The quicker a battle is finished, the quicker you win. So the ability we're looking at here is Honor and Might. Allies with less than full health have 18% offense. This bonus is doubled for Republic allies, so that's a 36% boost on your attack. So immediately that's good, right? I mean, that's good. Immediately that's good. To support him, we're going to look at 5s later, but to support him, we're going to put Rex in there. Now, Rex is deal physical damage to a target enemy and inflict target lock for 2 turns if they have no buffs or debuffs. Otherwise, remove 10% turn meter. So when you're attacking a clean enemy, which there is a very good chance you will be able to, because you're in with the first 3 ships, he's going to stick target lock on them for 2 turns. Okay. He's also going to speed people up there, but that's not what we're looking at. Clone Sergeant. Deal physical damage to a target enemy with a 50% chance to inflict target lock for 2 turns. So again, there's a chance for him to do it. It's not a 100% chance, but there's a chance for him to do it. And when he does hit a target locked enemy, this attack is an automatic critical hit and can't be evaded. So that's pretty good. If you remember, there's a boost on Galactic Republic, an offense boost. Remember, so once he starts to take damage, his ability is going to help him hit pretty hard. And then we have 5s. Now 5s, I haven't geared up 5s despite having a 7-star character because it's got a ridiculous ability on here. Inflict target lock for 2 turns on target enemy, which can't be resisted, right? So he's doing it as well. Then deal physical damage to each target locked enemy. This attack deals 20% damage for each target locked enemy. So there's a 60% boost potentially if you are able to use your other ships to get target lock on the other guys. And of course, Samuel's going to be hitting you with your offense boost. Now, I've never really enjoyed this character. I've never really bothered because whenever the Starfighter attacks, it gains 20% turn meter and the target gains 25%. So I've never understood why you would go for this, because he just grants the enemy turn meter. But I've included him simply because our goal is to smack people really, really hard, and to activate his special, or to make it useful, the enemy needs to be target locked. So all of these characters have an ability that works with target lock, or they inflict target lock. And finally for this video, Grand Moff Tarkin's Empire capital ship, and probably some ships that you have. Certainly 2 of these you will have already very well leveled, because they're both very effective. And we're putting Gauntlet Starfighter in here as the 3rd one for beginning. Now the reason we're doing this is because you can see which ship I use. The reason that we're doing this, all allies gain, no, that's not the one. Oh yes, it is. All allies gain 40% turn meter and offense up for 1 turn. Empire allies also gain potency up, so that's very useful. This is the Beast. The Beast deal physical damage 12 times. These attacks can't be evaded. Target locked enemies are also stunned. So target lock again is going to be a thing, but within the first 3 ships, it's unlikely you'll get to Imperial Assault, to be honest with you. Deal physical damage to all enemies with a chance to inflict ability block, and this attack deals more damage to debuffed enemies, which again is important. Allies deal 15% more damage for a debuffed enemy. This bonus is doubled for Empire ally, so a 30% on a debuff, and we're again going with target locks on this. And again, this is very useful because it will hopefully the expose will be able to will help you take out a ship pretty quickly, your first ship pretty quickly. Now, as you probably already know, Imperial TIE Fighter, he's really good. Deal physical damage to a target enemy against foresight for 2 turns. Alright, so foresight for 2 turns. If it's target locked, you get an additional debuff on there. Grants 15% turn meter to the allied capital ship whenever the ship evades an attack. So essentially, you gain evasion, you gain foresight, you dodge the attacks, and it speeds up Tarkin. This effect is doubled for Empire ships. So if you're using Tarkin, every time TIE Fighter pilot doesn't get hit, 30% turn meter for Tarkin. So that's a winner right there. Now, when we bring in TIE Advanced, we know that TIE Advanced doesn't miss. Inflicts target lock for 2 turns. This attack can't be resisted or evaded. So every shot that Darth takes, he's going to target lock somebody. Okay, which is extremely useful. And the reason we're going to put Gauntlet in here, and there's probably going to be some of you going, ooh, what about the other ones? I'll talk about one of the other ones in a minute. But the reason we're going to put Gauntlet in here, because Gauntlet is basically a really good support ship for Empire. Now, unfortunately, I don't have it geared up well enough yet. There's just so many things to work on in this game. And if I started again, I would certainly look at these 2 characters as a priority, because this ship is just devastating for Empire. Gauntlet Starfighter has 20 speed and gains an additional 5 speed for each other active Empire ally. So we're going to go 20, 25, 30, 35 additional speed. Or no, is it 30, isn't it? Because although I don't know, does Tarkin count? I don't know. 30 or 35 speed he's going to get. Additionally, it grants 20% defense, doubled for Empire. So 40% defense and a speed boost, just if you include this thing in your first 3. Grant another random ally 20% turn meter, which is really good because it's going to bring around your TIE Fighter pilot again for his foresight, and it's going to allow Darth, if it hits Darth, to hit his target locks a lot quicker. Inflict buff immunity, so that's for the debuffs which we need. And dispel all debuffs on all allies and grant their protection up for 20% for 2 turns. Doubled for Empire allies, so 40% protection. So 40% protection, 40% defense, and speed up, and inflicts a debuff. So I would start with these 3. Simply because we're looking at speed, target lock and speed. Hopefully we'll get him going as quickly as possible. But that's really what this team is about. One or two of the other ones are about big hits, but this is really about speed. Now, there's another ship that has been very popular, and it's one that I've had my eye on. I think most people have unlocked at the higher levels, and that's the TIE Reaper. Okay. Now, I think that the TIE Reaper has just become completely redundant. Of course, they're going to change it around. They did explain that they're going to change some ships around, but this has been kind of a dream ship for this ability. The enemy capital ship loses 35% turn meter whenever an ally ship is defeated. Okay, so when you've got 5 against 5, and you've got Biggs in there who's taunting, and let's say you've got Jedi Consulate in there who's keeping him healed, right, and you simply can't hit TIE Reaper, every time an enemy dies, your capital ship just gets slowed down. It's a really good ability. But what are we dealing with now? We're not dealing with 5v5, are we? We're dealing with 3 against 3. That has nerfed this ship. That has completely nerfed this ship. And I think that's a good thing. You can see I don't have it. I would like it. And if I had it, I may have a different opinion on it. But I think this ship has been a bit too overpowered in the game. I think it's given too much of an ability to the teams. I'm facing this ship all the time now, around kind of the level 20, 25 mark, and it's just too hard because Biggs is there, Biggs is protected. Once you've got this, you get your crystals. And that's it, really. I don't think this is going to be any good anymore. I think they've nerfed it. Without actually nerfing it, I think they've nerfed it, which I don't think is a bad thing. That's it. That's what I reckon. That's what I think is going to happen with or not what I think is going to happen. Those are three pretty good teams, I think, to begin with. Of course, there's lots of different combinations. You could have 3 Genosian spy ships going out there if you really wanted. And again, we didn't talk about Chimera because it's a free to play ship to unlock, but it's a grind to unlock. And unless you really started out focusing on getting that, then there is a chance that you don't have it. So we haven't looked at it. Well, I'd love to hear. I really would. I'm not really one for. I kind of do this as a hobby, so I'm not really one for saying leave a comment below. But I really, actually, genuinely want you to leave your ideas below because ships are really valuable in this game. They can give you a lot of crystals if you're high up. So I really want to know if you've got decent commands. I mean, Poe Dameron, his ship is just insanely powerful. I just get destroyed by this thing. You got to take this one out really quickly. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about these 3 ship combinations. I'm looking forward to it.